So, welcome you guys. I'm Shiva Subramanian, and you're watching Troubleshoot Tech, right? So, welcome again to this second session for Docker. And in the previous video, I have shown you what is Docker, right? How we can use it, where we have to use it, and uh, I have also shown you how to install Docker on Linux systems and on Linux version 8, right? In today's video, what I'm going to show you is about how to use Docker, right? How we can launch a container or an operating system in just a second, right? That is the beauty of Docker, as you can say. And I will be building a very beautiful use case of Docker. That is, we're going to be configuring our own Apache Web Server, which is a beautiful thing, and we're going to create our own image, right? And we'll be posting it on the online repository, right? That's all. That is all the agenda that we are going to follow up in today's video, right? So before this, for the beginners who are just learning Docker for the first time, I have to tell them something is that uh, the applications that or the operating system that you are using, that you can see this is my Windows operating system or my Red Hat system, right? All these things come from an image, right? An OS image, you can say, maybe from DVD or maybe from in any bootable pen drive or from any ISO image, right? So all these images which we are using right now, they are pre-specific or they are pre-customized, right? You can see the GUI, the graphical user interface, like my mouse and the folders, the click, and the all those things, right? So what you are seeing, they are GUI based, like a graphical user interface, right? So when we run Docker, it I have told already about that, you can get your OS in just a second, right? It boots up, loads, and gives you the terminal and all like that. So it will not be in a graphical form, right? It will be in a CLI form, just command line interface, right? So don't trouble these two things, right? It will not launch any OS like this, right? Because this OS what I'm using right now, maybe maybe Windows or maybe Linux, they are pre-customized and they come up with very many management applications like application management, power management, and process management, all those things. But the containers or the OSs which we launch, they are just empty containers, right? I'll be showing you they are just empty containers, and we have to configure it in particular, right? So don't mess up these two things. And one more thing that I want you to do is that just do one thing, just go to your web browser and search for a website called hub.docker.com, right? This is like a GitHub, like where you can find the images, and from this where you can download your images, right? So, and another thing that which I want you to do is that create an ID in it. Sign up for ID, right? It is totally free. It's of no cost, and you'll be getting a tag name, right? So right now I'm having a tag name as Camera 589. You can just put up any tag name you want, right? So just remember this tag name and please create an ID in it, right? So here you can search for any image that you want. For example, I want Ubuntu, right? I want to use Ubuntu. This is the official image for Ubuntu, right? You can just click it here and you can see the versions, the tags, and all those things, right? This is a quick reference, and these are the versions they are using right now, right? And you can also see the command for getting this image, right? So right now let's go to our system and just see the first command which I'll be showing you is docker images, right? So right now I'm having three images right now, like Ubuntu latest, Ubuntu 14.04, and CentOS version 7, right? Right now you will not be seeing any images. I have downloaded it, right? So how you can download, you just have to write the command as docker pull and whatever you want. Maybe I want CentOS, right? You can define the version, maybe 8, maybe 7. I have version 7, maybe 6 if you want, right? So if you don't give, it will download the latest version for you. So for this you must have a active internet connection, right? So whenever you hit enter, it is directly redirected to this site only. It will pull the image from this site only, right? So you can go, you can just hit enter, and is a default, it is you can see that it is using the default tag as latest, right, since we have not defined any version in it, right? So it is pulling, it is downloading. Okay, it is 73.23 MB. You must have an activated internet connection. Right now my internet connection is quite a bit slow, but not a big deal. Right? So I don't want to waste the time. You just download whatever image you want. I'm stopping it right now. Right? So after this, you just have to write the command as docker images, and you can see the images that you have downloaded, that you have, right. So I hope you will do it right now, right? So now another great command is that to see if any container or if any operating system inside the docker container is running or not. What you have a command called docker ps, right? This is a docker process. Right now it will not be showing anything right now, but because none of my container is running right now, none of it is in the up state or in the starting state, it's not any initiated, right? So by saying this, all which you have till now, right, if you have any, if you have run any container, right, till now, so you can use a option called -a to see all the containers which we have run in the, maybe in past week, or maybe in some seconds ago, or whatever it may be, which is not currently running, right? So you can see I was running all these containers. You'll be not you will also be not seeing any of this right now, right? Right, so I'm just giving you the command only. So it was actually at 13 hours ago, I this was actually 13 hours ago, and blah blah blah, right? So let me clear it. So let's go back to docker images. So yeah, so now I am showing you how to run a operating system in just a second. Like in just it, you will just a single command, the whole environment will run, and you get the terminal, right? For example, I want to run, so docker run, what I want to run, just say Ubuntu, right? Maybe version 14.04, right? Simple. Right? So after the Ubuntu launches, what I want an interactive, sorry, uh, I just hit enter, I'm sorry for that. So after launches, what I want an interactive terminal, right? So I can write IT options here, right? Or I can simply put it in same like IT. So after running, what I want an interactive terminal in it, right? And also I can give a specific name to it, right? So I can give a specific name to the my operating system or my environment by with the option hyphen name, right? Maybe let's give as my OS1. So this is my name, right? So your command is just this only. You just have to hit enter, and you can see your whole operating system just launches in a second. This is your new OS, right? You can see the terminal root command just changes. Earlier it was localhost root, right? Now it is the Ubuntu system, right? How we can check it? There's a simple thing, right? I'm opening another terminal right now, new window, just for showing you. Right, so in Red Hat systems we have a command called yum, right, for installing any softwares and kind of things. So if I hit yum in my base Red Hat system, you can see all those things which I from which I can install my things, right? So I can use these things, arguments, I can use installs, repositories, all those things right now. So yum command is basically nothing but to install the things, right? So there's an option called install to install a package or any software which I want. So yum command is a basic command for Red Hat systems. So right now I'm using Ubuntu, so by default yum will not work in Ubuntu, right? So as you can see, yum command not found. So in Ubuntu we have a command called apt get, right? From this command we can install any softwares or packages or tools from the Ubuntu system, right? So as you can see, now it works. So apt get command is used in Ubuntu. So as you can see, this was a whole new operating system which was launched in just a second, and this was the beauty that I was talking to you about, right? So let me clear it first. So yeah, So this is a new operating system. Yes, as you can see also in the terminal also. This is something, the ID of my container, and my base system doesn't have all these things. My base system has a thing called root at localhost. So let me clear this also so you can clearly see, right? So another thing is, so how do we get out of it? So I have to press, just click exit, and you can see I have exited. So now if you run docker ps hyphen a, or just simple hyphen ps, so right now you can see I'm not having any image running because I have exited my previous image. So you can pass hyphen a also along with it. So you can see I have used Ubuntu 14.04 with the name my os1 that was exited just 17 seconds ago. You can see, right, it was exited, right? So how easy it is that you can just in a second you can launch the system in second. So let's get another example, right? Docker image, let's see. So right now just we can run another image, docker run, maybe CentOS, maybe version 7, right? We're not having any other version right now. So after launching, I want it to give interactive terminal, and I'm going to provide a name to it with the option hyphen hyphen name. What name given? Maybe OS1, right? Or maybe OS2, right? So this is the name which I'm going to provide, right? So in just one click, your whole OS starts again, right? You can see with a new ID, and you can see a different container ID is given to it. So and the beautiful thing about CentOS is it is just same like Red Hat. So in this apt get command will not work. It will say it is not Ubuntu. In Ubuntu we use apt get command to install softwares, but in CentOS it just works like any other normal Linux Red Hat system, so it will not work. Here only yum works, right? So you can see it will give up the options for yum, right? You can see it gave me options for yum. So it's a new OS coming up all again, right? And I can prove you one more thing, right? Since I have told you about that this is an empty container, right? This is an empty container which has nothing to do with it. So in my base Red Hat system, if I go to my base Red Hat system and I write the uh, command as ifconfig, right? Because my base system has all the access, all the resources, all everything right now. So if I use ifconfig command, it has that software installed in it which will give me my IP address right now. So if I press enter, you can see it has provided my that is my yeah, here it is my IP address, right? My base system IP address. So but if I go to my container and if I write the same command, it will say the command not found, right? Why? Because it's a new container and it is an empty container. It is not having any software right now to fetch me this command or fetch my network card IP address for this container, right? So what we have to do, I have also, as I already told you about, it is just an empty container in which we have to feed the things to create our own customized environment, right? So every command comes with a software, right? So if command surely will be coming with a software right now. So if configure command comes with a software which is known as net tools, right? How to see this? You can use the yum command, like yum what provides ifconfig, right? As you hit enter, it will use the internet connection to get you the things, right, to get you the software name. Right now my internet connection connectivity is a bit slow, sorry guys, so you have to bear it with me. Right. It will give you the name of the software which provides the command name as ifconfig, right? Just wait for a minute. My internet is slow, slow, sorry guys for this thing. trying another mirror. So yeah, it is done. So as you can see, it has given me a software name as net tools, and with the version 2.0, this is the latest version, whatever it may be, right? So let me clear it first. So yeah, so net tools is software which provides me the command as ifconfig, right? So I can just use yum install, sorry, yum install net tools, right? So I can just hit enter, and you can say it starts to install, and say yes, install please. It is downloading a package. You must have an active internet connection for this, because the containers always take the internet connection to install the dependencies and the softwares and all those things, right? So, and you also must have a better internet connectivity, right? So yes, install. So it's complete, right? It says it is complete, right? So let me clear it for you. So now if I run ifconfig command, now you can see my containers IP address, right? My containers IP address is 172.17.0.2, but of my base Red Hat systems is different, right? Right. So here we can see that it's a new operating system. It just came up in just a second, and I have customized this it with it, right? So it is an empty container, so it also doesn't have the command called which, right? So by default the software for which command is which only, so I can use yum install which with the option called -y. It will not ask me for yes or no, install or no, right? It will just install it directly for me. It will directly install and do the things, right? So it is complete. So yeah, so now if I run which if config, I can see that the if config is stored inside the directory called root, and then usr, then sb, and then if config. So both are same things. Either I write just if config, right, or I can just use the path of the command like usr sbin and ifconfig. Both are same, right? So internally when you just write ifconfig command, it will directly go to this directory and run the command, right? So both are same things, right? Just clearing the concepts, right? So right now, as you can see in my base system, if I go to my base system, and let me clear it first. So if I run docker ps, so right now as you can see, status is up from 6 minutes at what I'm running, CentOS 7. The name is OS2 only, right? So right now my container is running. So if I exit from my container, right, my container stops, and if I run the command again, you can see nothing came up, right? Nothing came up, right? So docker ps-a to show all my run containers right now. So os2 was running with CentOS 7, and it was exited 16 seconds ago, right? So if I want to use the same container, right, I can use the id, right, or I can use the name. That's why I have shown you the option called -name. You can use the same name to launch the same operating system, right? So how you can check, right? You can use docker start command, right? And which OS you want to start? You want to start OS2, this container. You can use the id either, or you can use the name, right? I have given the name, so I can use os2. So you can just simple command, and your same container launches again, right? But still now you are in your in your base system only. So how to get the terminal of it again? You what you have to do, you have to attach it, right? So you can use docker attach os2. So as soon as you hit enter, you are back into your container again with the same container. How can you check? I have installed a software called nettools for providing the command called ifconfig. So if it is the same container, if it is not the any other new container, then it should run this command, right? Yes, it runs. So it is just the same container you are using right now, right? Even if I exited it, I can use the same container back again, right? With just docker start and the name of my container. Simple, right? It's so simple, and you have to then attach it to get your terminal back, right? So let me clear it again. Right? And this was the thing, how you can just launch your whole thing in just a second, right? That is the beauty of it, right? So now get back to the use case, right, which I was talking about, that how you can configure your own um, can you configure your own Apache web server, right? So for this, let me tell you a brief concept about, right? It is what is that an Apache web server always has some software, right, by which we can use it. We can so for this we have to install a software called HTTPD, right, which is hypertext transfer protocol daemon, right? Daemon is a thing, the process, a kernel process which runs in the background in Linux system, right? That's why we have to use the thing called HTTPD. So this is the thing which will start the services for you in your Docker container, by which you can access your web pages or whatever the web pages you create, maybe in PHP or any other web developing softwares, you can say, right, or any language you can. So for this you have to install a software. Right now I am using the os2 module only, right? So my container is running. Let me check the name, docker ps. So yeah, os2, right? This is my command, this is my container name. I'm using it in this only because I have installed two softwares, ifconfig and which command, right? So for this you have to install a software called httpd, right? So by default the command and the tool name is httpd only, right? So I have to just install this httpd software for enabling my services of my Apache web server and for creating web pages, right? So hyphen y I have passed so that it can directly get installed on my container, right? So it is downloading over the net. As I've already told you, you must have an active internet connection for this, right? So let it install. You have to wait for some minute. Sorry guys for this trouble. My internet connection is somewhat slow. Oh, it's taking too much time. Sorry guys, I wanted the session to be totally interactive, so I haven't downloaded it yet before. So you have to bear it with me. So now it is a bit fast. It's doing it right now. Good. So right now, after get installing this software, you can just use it for enabling these services, right? And then we will customize our own web server, right? Just this software gets installed first. My interactivity is too much slow. Sorry for this, guys. Okay, so it is installing right now. Thank God. So installing the dependencies, and yeah, it is complete. So message came up. It is complete. So yeah. So now let me clear the environment. Right, yeah. So my HTTP software runs, and I can see with the which command that where it is. So this command comes under the same folder user has been and then HTTP, right? So now I have to start my services, right? So as I've shown you, to start any services, I have used the systemctl command in my base system, right, to start any services. But inside a container, the systemctl command does not work. For this, you have to install a software called system D, right? So after installing also, this is software which provides you the command called systemctl. But after installing system D also, you can just write yum install. But after doing this also, you cannot get the systemctl enabled, because for this you have to configure some Docker file and all those things. So I'll that will be in our future video. I'll be telling you how to customize your Docker file and getting the systemctl enabled, and also how you can use GUI inside a Docker container. So that will be in a future part. Right now, I'll not be taking those advanced concepts right now. Right. So the HTTPD command right now comes under this path, right? So what I have to do, I have to enable the services of HTTPD hypertext transfer protocols. So I can use the path user sbin and then HTTP. That's all. As soon as you hit enter, your services will be started, right? This is nothing but a warning. Don't be confused with it. Just there's nothing but a warning for you, right? So now it's time to create web pages to see if our services is running or not, right? So there is a folder in Linux systems or in CentOS, as you can see, which is stored in where www www html, right? In this part, as you can see, right now nothing is there. So we can create a file as index.html, right? So why index.html? Because this is like a home page for the Apache web server. So if any page does not come up with it, it will directly hit to this index page only. It's like a home page, right? In your web browser, you have a home page. So whenever the basic IP address is put on the index.html page or the home page, it the service will hit, right? So I'm creating an home page, as you can say, as a name called index.html, right? So what we can do, we can write hi, like hi, this is my first use case of Docker, and maybe some numbers or thank you and blah blah blah, whatever the message you want, right? So now if I see, I have a page called index.html, or you can make another file also, right? Maybe I'm using cat let's say my page dot html, right? My page dot html, and what I can do, this is my first page, please support me, blah blah blah, right? And all those things, right? So now you can see I have two pages as index.html, which is my home page, and my page, which I have just created right now, right? So let me clear it first. So yeah, I have two pages right now. So since my web page servicing is started, so I'm going back to my base system, and if I try to run with the curl command, right, which is nothing but client URL, right? Client, C for client, and then URL, client URL. I can use my I have to use the IP address of the container. I think it's 172.17.0.2. If I'm so right. So as soon as I hit enter, yes, you can see this was the home page which I have put it up in my inside the container, which is running inside a container. So your container is just working as a local server for you guys, right? How cool is that, right? Even if I can access my page also, which I've created, which was my page dot html, right? Hit enter and you can see this also come up, right? It's so simple, it is so awesome, right? And even if you can also uh, go to the go to your web browser also, you can also test it there, right, with the same IP address, right? So let's start, I'll show you, right? Okay. So every website has some protocols defined in it. So the default protocol is HTTP, and then 172.17.0.2. Sorry, 0.0.2. So as soon as I hit enter, right, you can see same page come up, right? Or else I can use the search called my page.html, enter, and you can see the page come up, right? You can put whatever the page in it, maybe in HTML, maybe in PHP, right? So it is so awesome that you have created just your local a web server, right? It's so awesome. So it is not defining, as you can see, it is not defining in lines. I have put 3 lines, but it shows me in a single line. So let's customize it also. Let's go to my container and see. So now I am using vi editor to change the things, my page.html, right? So I'm going to insertion mode. So there's a tag in HTML which is known as pre-tag, right? You must be heard of it. So it will define my things in as it is, right? Escape and then colon WQ to write and quit, to save and quit, or you can simply say hit enter and done, right? So now if I go back to my browser and if I refresh it, and you can see, yeah, it just comes up in 3 lines, right? That is what I want, right? So it is so simple that you have just customized your own and created your own images right now, right? So but there is a defect in this, right? What is the defect? Let me show you. Let me clear it first, right? And let me close my browser right now. So as you can see, if I exit from the exit from the container, right, my service is stopped, right? So if I use again the curl command, it will say it is not resolved, or it is not able to find that page, right? Just wait for few seconds, it will show up, come up with that message that it is not found, right? It's still trying to fetch that page right now. So yeah, it has failed to connect to the port, right? No route to the host. So let me clear it, right? So because I have exited the system, right? So you can see docker ps. Right now I'm not having any running containers right now, right? So it is not uh, done, right? So it is not. So if I again use the same os docker run, I think that my name was os2, I think so, right? So let's check it first. Docker hyphen a, it was os2, yeah. So docker start os2, done. And I want to attach it. So right, I'm into this, but still if I use this curl command, it is saying still that it has not getting the crash right now. So what I have to do after entering into the container, what I have to do, I have to again start the HTTPD services to enable to restart my services, right? So I have to again go to USR, then sbin, and then HTTPD, hit enter, and then done, right? So as you can see now, if I again run this command, it is working and it is working good. So let me clear it. Right? But if I again exit, right, and right now my command will not work, right, my server will not work, so I have to again start it and again attach it, right, command complete. It was not able to, right, it failed, and if I use it again, it will again fail, because I have to start it again, right, I have to start it again. So so this is not a good thing, right? So what I want, as soon as I launch my container, the web services would have to be started automatically, right? Would have to be started. So what we have to do, there is a file in Linux system which is known as bash rc file, which is a runtime file. As you have to launch a container, the contents in the file also runs, right? The commands, if you put any command, right, it will also run in that. So we have to customize this bash rc file, right? So we have to put the things inside this. So let's see what is happening behind if I start the behind if I start this service, right? What happens when I use this command? So what happens is that as soon as I hit enter, when this command runs, what happens, it creates internally a thing called httpd.pid. It internally creates a PID which is known as process ID, right? Let me show you. So that file is under where run httpd, right? It is stored under this, right? If I hit ls command, you can see there is a thing called httpd pid, right? This is the command which gives the process ID. So if I see what is the contents in httpd.pid, as you can see, it has a number. There's a number which is the process ID which is given to start these services, right? Start the services. So what happens if I enter the services command? So as soon as I hit enter, these all files are created. And this httpd process is also created. So right now my services are not running, I think, right? So right now my services are not running, it is failed to connect, right? So what I can do, that I can remove the file httpd.pid, right? So it's asking me yes, so yes, please remove. So if I can see it, so there is no thing called httpd.pid, right now. So as soon as I hit or start the services using this command, as soon as I hit enter and I do the list command, as you can see, it has created a process ID as httpid, right? And now if I do the curl command, I can see my page. So internally what this command does is that it creates a process ID and runs the services which I want with all these things. So what I have to do, I have to as soon as my container starts, or as soon as my operating system starts, I want that this thing should be cleared, this should be removed, and then this command to run, right? I want this. So what I can do, I'm just clear it out, and I'm just going to my uh, base primary root directory. So what I have to do, I can I can use the vi editor. What I have to do, I can use vi, and it is stored under root and then dot bash rc, right? uh, right, bash rc, right? So as you can see, this is the startup file for the Linux systems, right? You do not change any contents in this, right? So I for insertion mode, and so what I have to do now, I have to remove, right, the things in the folder which is known as where run httpd and then httpd.pid, right. I have to remove this folder from it, right. And what I have to do instead, I can remove all those things, right. It will create from the start. For all those, for all things you have to remove, I have to use the star symbol to remove all, right. And I have to remove it recursively, and it should not ask any yes or no to remove it or not. So just remove it forcefully. So F is for forceful removal, right. So remove recursively, forcefully, which everything from the httpd folder. So after doing this, right, after doing this, what I have to do, I have to enable the services. So user has been and httpd, right. I have to start the services. So escape colon wq, write and save and quit, and done, right. It's so simple. So right now my services are running right now. As you can see, it is running. So let me clear it. Right. So if I exit from the container and I run it again, so it will not able to fetch the things, right. It will be failing, right. So let it fail first so that I can show you the things, like how beautiful it will be. Okay, the message can be seen anytime now. Okay, obviously initially it will fail, right. It will automatically fail. I think it should come up anytime now. Okay, it's still running. Right, it's still trying to fetch the things, right. So it is not able to fetch. So let me close it, right. So right again, it will not be able to fetch. It's taking too much time. Okay, initially it will fail, right. It's not able to fetch. So now if I just start my container, that if I just start, okay, the command completed, okay, so it failed, right. So even if I do not attach my container, even if I just start my container, you can see that my services are up, right. I haven't even go to my content right now. It is just running, right, in the background, you can say. And I can see my uh, website being up. So that is the beauty of Docker, right. If you are putting your company's websites and inside a Docker container, you can just put it on any server you want, right. If your container crash or if your system crash, you can just start your same container and you can see your all page or all whole local server just comes up. It is just up, right. That is the beauty of Docker, right. So if I use Docker attach os2, okay, so now your services are up. You just have to do nothing, right. So as soon as I exit, my services stopped, right. You see, now it will not go, it is not going to run, right. So let me clear it, and we can say I don't have any running container right now. With but hyphen a, I can see all the run containers, and it was os2 was there 60 seconds ago. It was executed, right. So now what I have to do, okay, command is completed, and you can see nothing came up, right. Nothing came up. So now you have customized your own container, right. You have just customized your own container, and so how to uh, save this container as your own image, right. You have customized your own image, right. You can do with a simple command called docker commit, right. Which I what is the thing that I want to commit? I want to commit os2, right. And the name of the image which you want, right. Maybe my web server, right. Yeah, yeah, my web server. Maybe you can define any version, maybe 1.2, maybe that's your choice, right? You can just put it anywhere. So docker commit which container, os2 container, into an image called my web server 1.2. Hit enter. It hardly takes 2 seconds. Just, and your you can see it is the SHA encrypted, and this is the ID of your container, right? So now if you do docker images, you can see a new image came up, my web server with version 1.2, just 12 seconds ago, right? With the size also. So as you can see, you have just created your own image, right? This is the thing that I was talking about. This image has the things in it, right? What are the things? It has its own ifconfig command, which command, and an integrated Apache web server with some web pages in it, right? You can just customize it, whether you can use it anywhere. Yeah, you can use it just anywhere in it, right? You can also use it as a simple image, like any other image like it. For example, you can use docker run hyphen it, give me interactive terminal with any name, right? Maybe host os one, right? And what is the name of the image? My web server version 1.2. You have to define it, right? And hit enter, and you can see the web serving starts. That if I see, because this, since image has the what you say, has the command of ifconfig, I can also see the by default it is having the same IP address. If I run another container, it will be having different IP address, right? So I can use this IP address to uh, check the services with my. So how can I do? So if you are using a container and if you want to go back to your base system in the same terminal, what you can do, you can use the keyboard shortcut which is known as left control plus P plus Q. See, I'm again into my base system, right? So just briefing you, right? What you have to press, left control plus P plus Q all together, right? So by this you can just get out of your container, and you can use your base system right now, right? You can use your base system. So right, so right now I have pressed left control P and Q, and I have entered your base system. So right now I can use my curl command. Okay, I'm not having it right now. So curl command 172.17.0.2, right? I think this is the thing, and you can see this was my index page, my home page, right? And it just came up, right? So for getting again into the thing, you have to use the command as a docker attach, and the name of the container was, I think, host os1, if I'm so right. Yeah, and I'm again into the same container. You can see the IDs are same. So left control P and Q to exit from the same terminal to your base system, right? So as you can see, now I'm exiting the container. So uh, this image has the Apache web server customized in it, and all those things that you have it right now, right? So this is so simple, right? This is so simple. You have just created your own environment, your own operating system, and you can port it anywhere, right? So now for porting it, you can use online repositories like I have shown you, the hub.docker.com right now, right? This is the things right now. I'm not having any repositories. You have to sign it up. Please go and sign it up in this. It is in this site. It is totally free of cost, right? Create, and you will get a tag name. Just remember this diagram, right? Because for uh, putting the things into the repository, you have to use your tag name as the servicing, right? So how to do this? I have to rename my web server image to a name which the tag which I was given. So how to do that? You can use the docker command, which is docker tag, right? Which is I'm sorry, which is the docker tag command, and you can use docker tag and the name of the image that you have as my web server 1.2, and you have to change it to another name, the tag name which you were given, right, from the in the docker hub right now. So right now my tag name is camero 589, so I'll be using camero uh, 589 slash and the name of my image that I want to put it right now, right? So let it be same, my web uh, server, sorry, my web server with the tag name maybe 1.0, let it be same, right? So I have to prefix as my tag name which is given to me by the docker hub camero 589 slash forward slash and then my name of the operating system which I want to do, right? Hit enter and done, right? If you now see docker images, you'll be having two images as camero 589 web server and another as my web server. So right now I don't want this image, I want to remove this image. How can I remove the image? Again, you can use docker rm remove I mean remove image. Remove which image? My web server 1.2, right? Right, so it will ask yes or no, it will not able to remove, so remove it forcefully. Done and untagged. So now let me clear it first, and you can, if I do docker images, you can see it is removed and your own customized image with online repository possibility is done. So now how to put it into this site, right, into this repository? It is so simple. Again, what you have to do, you have to just write a command called docker sorry, my bad, docker push. uh, uh, from the beginning to getting an image, you have write pull, right? So now you have to, now you are pushing your image. So camero web server with version 1.2, right? That's all, that this is the command. But before this, before doing this, what you have to do, you have to do the credentials, right? So what you have to do, you have to use docker login, right? Hit enter, right? If you hit enter, it will ask for your username and password, right? It will ask for your username and password, and you can put it in there. I'm not doing this right now because I don't want to expose my credentials right now. So you can use docker login. As soon as you hit enter, it will ask for your username and password, right? In the username you can provide the same tag name, right? It always identifies with your specific tag name only, right? So you can put your tag name and your specific password, and you have to log in only once, right? After, as I have already logged in, I don't want to log in again, right? You can just log in. You have to log in. It will ask for a username and password, and just have to log in once, and then it will store all your credentials in it, right? So after logging in, right? I'm not doing that step. Please remember, you have to log in. What you have to do, you have to use a command called docker login. Okay. Okay. So after doing that, you have to write the command called docker push and your image name, right, with version 1.2. Simple, that's all. Hit enter and you can see it is pushing, it is preparing to push, in the online repository. For this you must have an active internet connection right now, so it is 159.2 MB right now, and it's pushing right now, right? So you can see how beautiful it is that you have just in some minutes you have created your own, you understood what is docker, you understood how to run a container, how to create your own environment, how to put up the things, how to do the things, and how you have customized your own Apache web server, and also created your own image. By this you can put it, right? So if you have if you have this, you can just use it this online repository to pull it, right? You can also do this pull it. So if you are using any other system, right, what you can do, so it is okay, it is pushing right now, so let it push, right? It is doing the things. So after it is pushed, right, so it is done. So if I go to my docker hub and just refresh this, okay, still there is no repositories right now. Okay. Okay, so it is still doing this. It is still loading, right? Because it has not given my terminal back, so it is still loading it in. So let it load. So after this thing, right? What you can do, you can, if you have any other system, what you can do, you can just go there, install Docker, and if you want to use the same operating system, what you can do, you can just use Docker Docker pull and your name, right? Or which was .camaro 589 or whatever the thing you have, maybe my web server with version 1.0. This will get you the same operating system which you have just put inside this repository, right? So it is so simple, that is so easy, that you can just do this in this thing, right? It is so simple. Okay, it is pushed, but it's not showing right now. Let me close it. Okay, so connection reset by peer. Okay, but layer already exists. Okay, okay, so I have already created the name of the same with the same name, right? I think so. That's why it is. Uh, okay, so that's why it is just not responding. So let me change my name again. Tag as version 1.2, and I'm going to change it my host web server 1.2. Let me change like this, right? Okay. Uh, it is saying no such image, right? Let me check. Okay, so Docker tag 1.2 into Camaro 589. The tag name should be correct, otherwise it will not be seen in your repository. So let me change this to host web, right? Host with version maybe 1.0. So right, so done. So yeah, so now Docker push Camaro 589 slash host web with version 1.0. Right, hit enter, and I will now push into this. It is mounted. Okay, it's pushing. Uh, it's not running. Just let me check. Maybe I haven't removed it, right? Maybe let me remove it. Contact, and then push it again. Okay, the layer already exists. Okay, it is just doing the things, right? You can do this. You can do this right now. It will just, you can just see your repository here. I have tried it many. Okay, yeah, so it is done. Okay, it is already pushed, right? As you can see, that's why it says as yes, right? Okay, okay. As you can see, it was some mistake in my tag name. Okay, so please correct your tag name always, right? As you can see now, my things is hosted, my OS is there in my this, like This was the name I have given to it with the version 1.0, and you can see this was the command which I was talking about, right? I can use this command with the tag name. With the tag name is version, right? Whatever the version you're using, or maybe 1.0. You can use this same to do the things. As you can see, I can use it any other system. I have to just use this uh, command, so I can get my own web server right now come in handy, right? It is so simple uh, to use the things, right? It is so simple how awesome it is. You have just customized um, your own things and your own Apache web server. How beautiful is that, right? So that's all it, guys, for today. So in the next video lecture, I'll be talking about how to create our own network or own personal area network, and by this which you can use this container which I was talking about from the outside world, maybe from your base Windows system, right? Maybe from your base Windows systems, or also from your mobile phone, right? That will be our next topic, which is netting and patting, right? Which is a part of networking in the Docker containers, right? So see you guys then. It's all for today right now. So see you in the next video lecture. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.